Kids and smartphones have been of interest to researchers and parents alike since smartphones came on the scene and into the hands of children nearly 15 years ago. Over half of American youth have a smartphone by the time they're 11, and as of 2019, 84% of teenagers have their own smartphone. Experts have been following this trend. Some believe smartphone usage is dangerous and detrimental to kids' health and happiness, and yet others say technology is here to stay and we should thoughtfully embrace it as part of modern life. Let's meet two experts with differing opinions on the matter. Jordan Shapiro. He is an assistant professor and associate director of digital innovation at Temple University. He's also a senior fellow for Sesame Workshop at the Joan Gantz Cooney Center. He holds the position of pro smartphones for kids. He believes that digital media is here to stay and it can be used strategically to ready children for school and work and make them better citizens in face-to-face and digital life. Jean Twenge. She is a professor of psychology at San Diego State University and gives frequent talks on American youth, or the I-generation, a term she coined. For the sake of this dialogue, she holds a position of anti-smartphones for kids. She believes that smartphones hamper child social development and can even lead to severe health issues. Representing opposite sides of the spectrum, let's explore what our experts think on a few hot topics related to kids and smartphones. Jordan Shapiro believes that using technology is a necessary part of social skill development. In an interview with Goop, he said, "Kids need to cultivate social skills, media literacy, curiosity, and empathy, not only in their physical lives, but also in their online lives. So many parents are concerned that their kids will lack social skills because they spend a lot of their social time online. But what we miss is that this generation is really empathetic, and we partially owe that empathy to how globally interconnected they are." Conversely, Jean Twenge holds that smartphones harm social development. Teens today are less likely to hang out with their friends, drive, date, work a part-time job. And while they're at home more, they aren't spending that time with family members. According to an article she wrote for The Atlantic, when teens spend more time on smartphones and less time on in-person social interactions, loneliness is more common. Jean Twenge is concerned about the negative impacts on child health. In her Atlantic article, "Have Smartphones Destroyed a Generation?" she shares that the more time teens spend looking at screens, the more likely they are to report symptoms of depression. On top of that, teens are getting less sleep than they used to, with over 50% more teens experiencing sleep deprivation in 2015 compared to 1991. Sleep deprivation itself leads to a host of health problems, including depression and anxiety. Jordan Shapiro disagrees wholeheartedly. Citing two recent studies, including one based on 350,000 teens, he attests that there has never been conclusive evidence that screens are a direct cause of harm to children. Jordan Shapiro believes kids should be started early on digital media. According to an interview with Insider, his son was 8 when he received his first smartphone, and Jordan wishes he would have given it to him at a younger age. Jean Twenge, on the other hand, believes parents should wait as long as possible, and at least until the child is a teenager. Jean Twenge believes it's the parent's job to restrict time spent on a smartphone, and that goes beyond delaying access to one. This also means restricting phone use to daytime hours and no more than 2 hours a day. After all, as she states in The Atlantic, it's a policy Silicon Valley executives follow. Even Steve Jobs limited his kids' use of devices he brought into the world. Jordan Shapiro feels differently. In fact, he believes parents have an opportunity to engage in a shared technology experience and show kids how to interact with digital media. As he shared in his interview with Goop, parents can model and reinforce positive behaviors to help kids operate more successfully in digital environments. Furthermore, he finds the issues plaguing youth today are not a result of smartphone use. As he shared in an interview with Forbes, "The real issue has nothing to do with smartphones or screen time or video games. There have always been parents that were more engaged than others." Now that you've heard from the experts, what do you think?